A month ago, I did a remastered version of our best team for ORAS, where I showcased a team built around using Swampert as your starter option. Also, some years ago, I did a team built around Blaziken for ORAS. And while it was okay at the time, obviously with more years of experience, I figured out that the team needed some work, and I'm a lot more confident in the team I built today. So today, I'll show you guys what you'll need to do to build the perfect best team for Blaziken in ORAS, even covering where you'll get your best movesets and items for these Pokemon as you continue your journey. By the end, you'll know exactly what will make your Blaziken shine in these games. Okay, obviously, we're gonna need to grab our starter from Birch, who's currently being attacked by a Walpochiana, but we'll go save him with Torchic. Torchic will have a lot of pretty strong matchups, especially once it's evolved into Combusken in Blaziken, and thankfully, most of its best moves will come within the first half of your journey. Your Blaziken will eventually have Swords Dance and Low Sweep through TMs in Laveridge and Mauville respectively. While we're waiting for Low Sweep, you'll at least have Rock Tomb as an option offensively, which you thankfully get from beating Roxanne. For your Fire-type move, you'll probably aim for Blaze Kick, as it's an evolution move for Blaziken at level 36. But once you get access to the move relearner, you can use a Heartscale to teach it Fire Punch, which will give you a 100% accurate Fire-type move with no drawbacks. As for your last move, Earthquake is probably your best bet, but you won't gain access to it until Seafloor Cavern. Blaziken's best matchups will be against gym leaders, such as the two Steel types Watson has, as well as Norman's gym, while also being powerful in the Sydney, Glacia, and Steven in the Elite Four. The big benefit to using Blaziken though, will be once you gain access to Mega Evolution, as you'll want to get your Blazikenite on Blaziken ASAP. You'll obtain it on Route 120 playing the story anyway, and Mega Blaziken will add on both the ability Speed Boost and also some much needed offensive stats to make your Blaziken go from powerful to truly legendary. Mega Blaziken is easily one of the strongest Mega Evolutions this game has to offer, and the fact it's not even a hard Pokemon to obtain speaks volumes to how strong of a choice this will be for you, as anything not a resistance will probably get beaten by your starter. Blaziken's going to need some powerful partner options though, and one of the first will be a pretty strong option to cover plenty of targets that you can't handle already. And I know that my comment section is going to absolutely love this one. Hey guys, guess what? It's Gardevoir. What the f can do? Yep. Sorry, it's just that good. With its newly added fairy typing, you'll have a Pokemon with one of the best typings in the entire game, without a doubt. When you evolve Ralts, you'll want to make sure to take advantage of the TMs for Shadow Ball and Thunderbolt, which you'll get pretty late into your journey. Shadow Ball will be located at Mount Pyre. Meanwhile, Thunderbolt will be an option you can get from Watson after you handle the Primal Legendaries. Thankfully though, you'll have access to the move Psychic through leveling up your now Gardevoir at level 31, which will give you a very powerful stab move for free. For your Fairy Stab, you can either go for Route 123 to get Dazzling Gleam, or if you want a more powerful option, you can go grab a Heartscale for it to get Moonblast, which will both be a stronger option damage-wise, and it even has the chance to lower your opponent's special attack by one stage. Gardevoir's best item will definitely be the Guardiite after the Primal Encounter, which you can go back to Verdantur for. Until you get your Mega Slot, I would use the Odd Incense, which can be found in one of Slateport's shops. It helps benefit your primary Psychic typing for a good portion of the game. It sucks that you can't get Hyper Voice until post-game, but it is what it is. That said though, Gardevoir with this moveset is really powerful. You guys have seen it multiple times, I don't really need to explain. Once you get the Old Rod, you'll catch your third encounter in Dewford Town. This will be your water type, Magikarp. And I'm bringing it back from the ORAS Remastered team because it's just that good. Gyarados is one of the best Pokemon in the history of Nuzlocking. By this portion of the game, getting access to a Gyarados should be relatively easy with your experience share, until it gets to level 20. Gyarados is that monstrous option due to its ability Intimidate, allowing it to drop the opponent's physical offense, making it great to pivot around any potentially bad matchups. Thankfully, Gyarados gets most of its moves rather easily, unlike our other partners, as most of its moveset, being Aqua Tail, Crunch, and Dragon Dance, are all through level up. you can always replace Aqua Tail with Waterfall once you beat Wallace, which you'll get without any issues by just playing the game. As for your fourth move, you can get Bulldoze from Mauville's Pokemart, and then after, you can wait until you get Earthquake, which of course you'll get from Seafloor Cavern. Gyarados is a very strong option across the board. Even if you don't have Stab Water for Flannery, it helps out drastically. Also going into Norman with Intimidate, as we saw in the last ORAS best team, yeah, it did really well, especially being able to block out his slacking with the Intimidate ability. Not to mention Tate and Liza, Team Magma if you're playing Omega Ruby, and Phoebe as well, which Gyarados completely mopped her in the last playthrough. As for your items, the Gyarados side is the main item you're going to want to use, which can be obtained on Route 123. Until then, I would recommend the Soft Sand, which will boost Bulldoze going up against Flannery. After Flannery, you can even go grab the Wave Incense from Slateport to help boost your Stab Aqua Tail. Any of these three items will be strong on Gyarados, and I don't think you can really go wrong with any of them. Just use the Gyarados site as your primary one, because Mega Gyarados is peak. While we'll catch this next Pokemon in Dewford's Granite Cave, it won't show its full potential until later on. But we'll want to make sure we have an Aggron that'll eventually evolve in the Aggron. Shouts to Corrosive. This is yet another Pokemon that can provide us with the potential for a Mega with the Aggronite, being available in Rust Turf Tunnel by clearing all the rocks. That said though, you can also utilize a Rock Incense from Slateport when buying your other instances anyway. As for moves, Aggron will mostly want Iron Head, Rock Slide, Toxic, and Protect, giving this team a much needed defensive backbone that can still be powerful in the certain situations. With the prospect of Protect, you'll be able to completely wall out Norman's slacking, as if Gyarados isn't already a good enough wall. You'll want to make sure it has the ability Sturdy, as a means to make sure you can take a hit in any bad situations to fire off a last-ditching damaging move. Or you could even use it to poison a random enemy. You'll best utilize Aggron into Winona, Tate and Liza, Glacia, and Drake. Being able to have a strong pivot like Aggron should help any team succeed. To finish off your Fire, Water, Grass trio, you should aim to get yourself a Roselia. That said though, you will need to get a Shroomish to beat Roxanne and Cycling Road rivals Marsh Stomp, though Roserade benefits your team as a whole far more. The temporary Shroomish is mainly for Marsh Stomp, but it can be your win con against Roxanne if Torchic has not yet evolved into Combuskin. Anywho, you'll get Shroomish in Petalburg Woods, but for Roselia, you'll need to get access to Route 117, which is, unfortunately, after Cycling Road rival. Roserade's real usage comes into play against Tate and Liza, Wallace, and Team Aqua if you're playing Alpha Sapphire. You can still use it in a few niche occasions, but these battles mentioned will be your best places to take advantage of this powerful grass type. Roserade's best moves will be 1. Giga Drain, which you'll get at level 25 as a Roselia, while also using Dazzling Gleam and Shadow Ball, which you'll be getting for Gardevoir anyway. As for its Poison Stab, you'll be utilizing Sludge Bomb, which you can get in Dewford Town after battling Norman from the Pokemon Trend House. As for your best item, the Miracle Seed will be a strong option, which you can get in Petalburg Woods once you've been given access to Cut after beating Brawly. This should help Roserade plenty with making sure it can easily combat anything it'll face in these games, filling in the few roles that you can't currently combat with your first 4 mods. Now, for our final Pokemon, we'll be catching the legendary for your respective games. In either case, we'll be giving the appropriate Primal Orb to either Kyogre or Groudon when we encounter them in Pseudopolis for the battle to end all battles. If you're going to be using Kyogre, while you'll have 2 water types, Gyarados can always take on the more defensive role, being a strong pivots for ground types as your immunity here. So it still won't be a bad idea to stack both of these, especially because there aren't any strong electric or grass types by this point in the game. For Kyogre's moveset, we'll want Origin Pulse and Ice Beam, which Kyogre starts with, while getting TMs for Thunder and Earthquake. Thunder is obtained in Lilikov's department store. Meanwhile, if you're playing Omega Ruby, Groudon will still want to keep Precipice Blades, while getting Flamethrower from Victory Road, Solar Beam from the Safari Zone, which you'll need the Mach Bike for, and Dragon Claw from Meteor Falls. Anywho though, Primal Kyogre and Groudon are going to be phenomenal for taking on the Elite Four. You could honestly solo the rest of the game if you wanted to with your Legendary. But thankfully, you still have 5 more Pokemon on the team in case your opponent sneaks in a lucky KO. Now, before we wrap up this vid, let's discuss our HM employee. As for the majority of the run, your 6th team member does not exist, so you've got plenty of time for a dedicated HM user. For my last run of Hoenn Remastered, I used a Linoon for cut before being replaced with the free Latios/Latias, who can cover your need to dive, cut, and fly without needing to be benched until the big 6 comes into the picture. After getting the primals, they have Rock Smash for Victory Road, Gyarados has Waterfall, and Aggron has Surf and Strength. Work around these mons and you shouldn't have any issues. So, that's our revamped best team for ORAS, with Blaziken as our starter. Let me know down below what you think of the team, and if you end up trying it yourselves. I'd especially love to hear how it goes. On your way, also make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with content like this. At some point in the future, I'm also going to be covering Sceptile, so be on the lookout for that. As usual, thank you guys so much for the support on these videos. It really does mean a lot. With that said, I'll see you guys real soon.